Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Suzanne. We're going to prepare a nice chicken dish and letting tomatoes be the star of the plate. We have all these beautiful tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes. Look at these gorgeous tomatoes. So we're going to make a really nice tomato salad that's going to go with a chicken breast that is stuffed with Fontina cheese and wrapped with Jambon de Bayonne, which is like a prosciutto. So why don't we get started with our chicken. I have 2 boneless and skinless chicken breasts here. These are from D'Artagnan. Okay, so here is the whole breast, which I have cleaned, and I took a very thin bladed knife and I made an incision about 3 inches in length, and I'm going to come around and show it to you so that I have made a pocket so that I can put the Fontina cheese right inside. So all you have to do is just take your knife, go into the thickest part and just go all the way down, but don't go all the way to the end, and don't go all the way to the edge of the chicken breast. And per chicken breast, you will need 1 ounce of Fontina cheese. So you're just going to put the Fontina cheese straight into the chicken breast and then just close it up. All right, let's do that to the next one. There's many herbs that go really well with chicken. I have some tarragon in the garden, so I'm going to use that as my herb. You could use fresh thyme, you could use a basil leaf, whatever flavor if you don't happen to like tarragon, definitely use another herb. You can even use parsley, which would be wonderful too. So our next step is the jambon, and this is from D'Artagnan, as you can see, and it is a pork product. So prosciutto di Parma is also a wonderful meat to use here. If you can't get this one, this is beautiful and the flavor is fantastic, but prosciutto is also fabulous. I think prosciutto di Parma tends to be a little larger in size than this jambon. So normally with the prosciutto, you would maybe need about 2 slices per chicken breast. And of course, that also depends on how large your breasts are. So anywhere from 2 to 3 slices, you should plan on per chicken breast. So let's get this off. And I have right here a piece of saran wrap. So I'm going to lie my prosciutto down directly on the saran and then pull this piece of plastic back. And let's just grab 1. I think we're going to need 3 for this chicken, but we'll see. So lie it down, and you just want to kind of go over about 1/4 of an inch, just overlap it about 1/4 of an inch. All right, and now we can see whether we need another slice or not. Let me just take a quick look here. No, I think that'll be perfect. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to season this with salt and pepper. So we'll do a little bit. This is Telecherry black peppercorns, and this is kosher salt. So let's season the meat with some salt, and I'm going to go ahead and do this side too while I'm at it. And I have some chopped tarragon that I'm going to put on top of the chicken breast, and about, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. Let's turn it over. Let's season this side. I'm going to turn this side over and season this side. Okay, let me discard the rest. Let's put a little bit of black pepper here. Black pepper. More tarragon. Some on there. You can do this ahead of time. This is wonderful for entertaining. You can make these in the morning and put them in your refrigerator, and they're all set and ready to go. So this is great for entertaining. Okay, so just take your prosciutto and try to lift it up and wrap your chicken, and go to the other side, lift it and wrap. Great. Now what I like to do is just take my saran wrap. I'm going to try to get it where it meets the other edge. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. Just fold it in, and now I just twist both ends, make it nice and compact. And this is the way I would refrigerate them, just so that you can see what it looks like. So it's completely sealed and ready to go. And it's all seasoned and all set. So let's do that one more time. Okay, did a quick wash, and now we can assemble our salad. By the way, I did prepare this recently. We did the tomato salad. You could also, if you wanted to add something else to the plate, of course, as the weather gets a little cooler, maybe towards the end of September, and we still have tomatoes, you could do a nice potato puree to go with it as well. All right, so first thing, tomatoes. It's nice to use different shapes and sizes. So I'm going to use this beautiful heirloom tomato. I'm going to cut out the core. And this, I think, would just be nice to do in wedges, because we do have the sun golds and these other nice cherry tomatoes, so it's nice to use different sizes. So I would say for a salad, for 4 people, 3 very large, nice large tomatoes like these heirlooms, along with a few cherries, would be very nice for 4 people. Okay, so we have a few of these. And these I would just split in half. All these different tomatoes, they're so lovely. And to this, we're going to add some celery. We're going to add some Kalamata olives, red onion. We don't even need to make a dressing. We're just going to dress this with some fresh squeezed lemon juice and extra virgin olive oil. So it's really nice and bright, which is great because the chicken dish is rich with the Fontina cheese and the prosciutto. So the salad just complements the richness of the dish perfectly. Okay, in regard to celery, for 3 very large tomatoes, I would use 4 nice tender stalks of celery that are in the inside of your bunch of celery. These are more tender and they're really very, very good. And we're also going to use the leaves because that has very nice flavor too. So this, you just need to slice this on the bias or just go straight across if you'd rather just do that. So 4 small stalks like this is perfect for 3 large tomatoes. If you do use the outer celery stalks, I would suggest that you peel them. These tender ones you don't need to peel. So I have here more celery, which I will put in. In regard to the onion, which I did thinly slice, I used a half of this onion. So kind of a small onion. This is a nice local red onion, which is nice and sweet. And then a half a cup of Kalamata olives can go in here. So a half a cup of olives sliced, a small red onion, and then the rest of our celery. And I juiced 1 lemon. You may or may not need more. Of course, you could always use a vinegar. You could use a champagne vinegar, a sherry vinegar. You could even use a balsamic if that's your favorite and that you prefer that. You could certainly use that here. All right, so we have some fresh parsley. And I'm just going to chop this up. These stems are very, very tender, so if some of the stem gets in there, it's okay because they're really pretty tasty. And then this is some of the nice celery leaves, which has some great flavor too. So we can save some for garnish, and we will put some directly into the salad. Get the herbs in there. And the last thing we need to add to this salad, we will season it with salt and pepper and dress it with some freshly squeezed lemon juice and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Now, you don't want to dress your salad until you're actually ready to eat, but you can certainly assemble it and refrigerate it, or just leave it aside, especially if it's about an hour or so ahead of time. You can just leave it aside. Okay, so here you can see all of, and just use a rubber spatula or a spoon, but take a very gentle hand to it. You don't want to bruise your tomatoes. You want your tomatoes to keep their really nice shape. I'm just going to come around so that you can see the salad, and when we come back, we're going to let the chicken just rest in the refrigerator for about an hour, and then when we come back, we will sear it on both sides, and then finish it in the oven, and then we will go ahead and dress our salad. But let me come over and show it to you. Okay, I think you have a really nice view of what all these beautiful tomatoes look like. And of course, if there is a vegetable here that I put in, celery or the onion or even the olives, of course you can take that out. Take whatever you prefer. If you prefer cucumber, you could add cucumber here, which would be really lovely as well. And if you have a lot of cucumber coming out of your garden, wouldn't that be delicious in this salad? So you can certainly just take this as a base, and you can expand on it any way that you like with all the beautiful produce that's coming from the gardens right now. So we are ready to sear our chicken. I have a saute pan on the stove on medium to medium-low heat, getting my pan warm. And then I'm going to add, you can use either olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil, or grapeseed oil. And here I'm going to use some grapeseed oil. And we will sear the chicken breasts for about 4 minutes aside, and then we will place them in a 375-degree oven until they're cooked. It'll take about anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so let's get some grapeseed oil in my pan. Rotate it. When it's shimmering, it's ready and we can start searing. Okay, so here's our beautiful chicken stuffed with Fontina cheese and wrapped with the Jambon de Bayonne. Here we go. So I'm going to set this for 4 minutes and take a look at it. And then we can decide whether we need to let it go an extra minute or not. Medium to medium high is what you're looking for. Okay, so that sounds and looks good. Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay, so we're good. Now, while that's searing, I do have my tomato salad here sitting. And first thing we want to do is season it with salt and pepper. And you can get it dressed and ready to go. And you can even get it on your plate. So this is a great dish to do ahead of time. All right, and of course, some kosher salt. Give that a good toss. Now the olives have salt in it too, the brine, so you want to be careful, although the tomatoes do need the salt. And then I have 1 lemon juice. I did pull another lemon out. If I do need more, I can always add more lemon juice. But let's go ahead and drizzle. You always want to start with your acidity first and finish off with your olive oil after. And then you want to put a nice good drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Let's start with about a tablespoon and see if we need any more than that. Okay, I want to check the chicken. Okay, you can see how nice and brown it has gotten. Hopefully you can see that. And now I'm going to turn it. And I am going to have to put on our hood because it's starting to get a little smoky in here. I apologize for the sound, but I definitely need the hood on. So I'm just going to turn this down just a little bit because now my pan is super hot. Let's set it for another 4 minutes so we can get our plates ready. I'm going to just grab a couple of plates here. Have them all set for us. I just want to taste again to make sure that it's seasoned pretty well. You can always finish it with a little bit of, oh yeah, yeah, perfect. You can finish it with a little bit of fleur de sel if you'd like, so I'm going to grab some. And let's talk about how this chicken is going in the oven. What I like to do is get my oven heated along with a tray with a racket. So I have a tray with a rack and it's heated and it's nice and hot. I'm going to place the chicken directly on here. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'll come around. I think you'll see it. I can tell you right now, can you see how that's beautiful, right? The tarragon is really coming through. I can really smell it, and it smells very, very nice. This is pretty much ready to go into the oven. So I am going to put it in the oven, and I will set a timer for 10 minutes, check it. get my timer set. So we have about 2 more minutes before the chicken is done, and I have a guest here tonight, which we haven't seen in a while, Mr. Bob Stack. And Bob's going to talk about a great wine that we're going to have with our chicken dish tonight.
Hi, my name is Bob. I'm the wine director, back in the saddle. Back in the saddle, as they say. So for tonight's wine pairing, I haven't done one of these in a while.
I know.
Is Pinot Noir from Damiani Wine Cellars. Finger Lakes Winery, 2010, really good year. And it's a single vineyard, and I've talked about single vineyards before, and it is just that all the grapes comes from a particular vineyard that probably has the same or similar soil, sun exposure, things of that sort, that makes all of the grapes in that vineyard of a particular quality, and usually a very high quality. So this is Davis Vineyards. Phil Davis is one of the owners of Damiani Wine Cellars, and it's when I first opened it about literally 5 minutes ago, and I smelled the cork, and quite honestly I thought it smelled a little foul, and so that's not a good sign, right? But it's tricky, right? Because 10 years in the bottle, and things are happening, right? So it's not always going to be this pure aroma that you would expect. Anyways, you don't want to jump to conclusions and say, oh, it's a bad wine, because it's not a bad wine. And when I poured it, it's got a lovely, ruby red translucent color.
It's beautiful.
Right? So sometimes if it's, brown, it's not nearly as.
Oh, it smells great.
Yeah, it might be a little bit, off, as they say. But this is not off. This is really great. And I took a taste, and it's just luxurious, a luxurious Pinot. It's crisp, it's light, it's not overpowering, but it's got wonderful flavor. And I think with the Jambon de Bayonne, hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
You did.
I think I did. Pretty nice accent.
Good. Yes.
It's a mild ham, but it imparts some taste and flavor. So I kind of matched up to that. The chicken, of course, is very goes along with the flow, if you will. So it's I think it's going to be a wonderful pairing. Mm-hmm. It's great wine, just lightly medium bodied, wonderful flavor. This is an elegant dish that we have had before and loved it.
Yeah.
This is third time's a charm. It's going to be really good tonight,
Yeah.
especially with the wine pairing.
Yeah. The flavors are just so nice, and when people talk about having chicken, and it's something that you eat at home Monday through Friday because it's just your basic go-to meal. I think that you saw that this took very little time to assemble, and yet it's now a very elevated dish that I think you're really going to enjoy. Now normally I would just take the chicken breast, okay, and put it right on the plate here, like so that you can see it. And I'm just going to do that, but I would also like to slice one so that you can see what the inside looks like. However, what's going to happen when I slice it? All that cheese is going to ooze out, but I want you to see it. So I'm going to slice one for you.
Are you going to slice mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yours can ooze.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think you would agree, and you probably talked about this before, when you're dealing with, people think, like you said, chicken is common, and it's just like, okay, it's chicken.
Right.
But you need to start with a great chicken, right? A great chicken, so that the meat it's plump and it's juicy and it's cooked right. And then you pair it with wonderful garden tomatoes, and you pair it with a wonderful Pinot. Now all of a sudden, it's an elegant dish.
It's true. And in the 17 years that we ran the restaurant, we were huge believers, and always, we never steered away from wanting to use the best product that we could use.
I thought you were going to say in the 17 years I've been married, and I'm going, no, it's not 17 years.
40-something.
40-something. No, it's 42.
Oh, okay.
43.
Yeesh.
43.
Wow.
We've been on 43 years for about 5 years now.
I know.
Right?
It
We talk
seems
about
that
it
way.
all
It does
the
seem
time.
that way.
Yeah, it's a lovely year.
And you
Well,
know what? I
in
think
spite of everything.
I think this electric knife was probably at my bridal shower, but I have to tell you, and I've mentioned it before, I love my electric knife, and there's certain things that you really can use it for that it's very useful.
Didn't somebody drop that
This
in the
is-
kitchen?
Yeah, a couple of times
Yeah.
we've had a few.
We will mention them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you use the electric knife, it gives you really nice, clean slices. And I can see our cheese beautifully oozing out. And oh boy, there goes the nice ooze. Okay, so let's just take this knife away. And hopefully I can show you. I'm going to put it directly on your plate, Bob.
Nice.
Uh-huh. And here is our tomato salad that I have already put on the plate. And now we will get the chicken and we will be ready to eat.
Nice.
Okay, so let me just pick this up and I'd like to,
Looks.
okay, there. Now you can see the cheese oozing. I will come around so you'll get a nice view of our chicken dish tonight. And the juice down below at the bottom, that's the tomato juice and the lemon juice and the olive oil from the tomatoes, which will flavor the chicken really nicely too. And then we can just finish it off with a little bit of fleur de sel,
I
and
think
we're ready to
we
eat.
better get eating, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And imbibing.
And having a nice glass of wine.
Yeah.
So, here's another wonderful way to use these beautiful heirloom tomatoes and all the tomatoes from your garden, from all the local markets. Once again, if you are enjoying these videos, please subscribe to Cooking with Suzanne Fine Regional Cuisine on YouTube. We are having a great time. We're very happy to share with you, and we hope that you're enjoying preparing some of these dishes.
Did you talk about how fresh this dish is?
Very fresh.
Did you talk about it?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did. I
yeah.
had mentioned that the richness of the cheese and the prosciutto goes so well with the acidity in the tomatoes and the lemon
And it's
juice.
summer. You know, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be potato, green beans
Right.
type of thing.
Right,
You know,
it can just be
the elephant plate, as
beautiful.
I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's great to be back.
Yes.
And it's great seeing all of you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Be good.
Take care. Bye. Good night. Yeah, where's my glass?
You said you
I
didn't
need
want
a glass.
You said you didn't want it.
Okay, good night, everyone.